It looks like Umberto is the reason for severe weather across the southeast today.
Here's the latest from the National Hurricane Center.
My name is Umberto Fontova. My family was run out of Cuba when I was 7 years old by the cowardly, murdering dictator Fidel Castro. Ran for our lives. We arrived in America, political refugees, and found a paradise in southern Louisiana. The food was running, swimming, crawling, slithering, and flying everywhere you look. I just like to hunt, kill, and eat the way man was meant to. Hey, Fidel and Raul! I'm free and enjoying my life immensely. Bet you can't stand it.
Here it is, folks. I promise I'd make it. I promise. I promise. And here it is, already spilling it, but the same deal that we had for Mardi Gras.
Okay. Okay. Can't wait to dig in. Smells wonderful.
Let's get Umberto.
Let's meet.
Like, nobody poured me any wine. The chef mentor gets no wine. Okay, that's fine. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That's the gratitude I get for making the favorite sauce piquant of everyone here.
Bon appetit.
The secret. Y'all keep bringing up the word secret. Umberto, what is the secret to this dish? How is it that we love it wherever we eat it, whether it be here, whether it be a Grand Isle at Mardi Gras, and you tricked us here to eat this wonderful meal? What is the secret to the wonderful flavor that you have here? And I promise you that it was hormone-free, and I promise you that it was a very fresh animal, and I promise you that it was completely free of preservatives, and it was a free-roaming creature. I will now reveal the secret. What you are eating in your place, what you have been eating, and tell me that is wonderful, is this.
My two cousins, Pelayo,
Take him out. Nice shot on the ball.
and his brother Paul, also known as On the Ball Paul, have been my running mates since the day we were born.
That's a marksmanship, man. Hey. He's going. There he goes. Hey! Yes, indeed. Oh, my good. Sheer shoot 'em up fun is what I call this. Everything around me is dead. So let us now behold this gorgeous wetland scenery that people come from all over the country, indeed all over the world, to take in. These very sites right now, without the bloodshed that we provide.
I think you need to get out there and retrieve some of those.
Nice and solid right here. You think
It's nice and, I think you got solid ground here. You got a good root system here. I think you'll be okay.
Look at that. My mouth is watering. Well, I would say this one would probably score out at about 180, I'd say. It's gonna, look at that, will you? 187 because of the drop tine. The tooth, he's got a drop tine back there. But it doesn't matter. The trophy is in the sauce piquant. So this is going to be a trophy anywhere you look at it. Now there's a fryer.
That's
a fryer.
the tender vittle there.
On the ball, that's a fryer. The fragile wetlands, as a matter of fact, Louisiana right now wants us to do this. They want us. These things have become a nuisance. They're overrunning the marshes, and then when you get a hurricane, it washes out what little land we have left. That's fine. That's true. But that ain't why I'm out here. I'm out here to blast them and eat them. There we go, there we go.
3 Cuban refugees turned loose on the city of New Orleans. Believe me, we fit right in with all the crazy characters that fill the French Quarter.
You know, it's amazing. We call ourselves running mates. We have been running together since the BB gun days in Havana, Cuba. That was shortly after the wonderful Castro Revolution. And believe me, a sparrow or a pigeon made a dynamite dish.
When we were kids in Cuba, we would do our little diving and snorkeling and, you know, with our little makeshift spear guns.
So we started when we were 6 and 7 years old. And here we are, engaged in the same basic endeavor.
You know, Umberto, I've been hunting with him for a long, long time. You know, Umberto is not normal. He's a strange individual. Bottom line is that we're all kids at heart. None of us have really grown up.
But it wasn't all fun and games in Cuba. Times were tough, and when Castro took over, they threw our fathers in prison, and the rest of us had to run for our lives.
We're leaving Cuba, right? I'm 7 years old. Hey, it's an adventure. We're going on a trip. Well, the trip turned real exciting at the airport. We're walking to the plane, and the communist soldiers come up and grab my dad and start dragging him off. At that time, hundreds of men were being shot daily at the firing squad without trial. If a man got dragged off by the soldiers, my poor mom must have figured, okay, they're going to send him to the firing squad. She says, we're not leaving if you cannot come with us. 2 hours later, we're still waiting. He had not come out. My mom had to make a very, very difficult decision. We left. We get to Miami. She calls Cuba. My father was a prisoner in La Cabaña prison, which is where Che Guevara was running the court. And it were hundreds of men and boys were being sent to the firing squad every single week. Our story had a happy ending. My dad was a political prisoner only for a few months. And he now, at 81 years old, hunts and fishes practically every weekend with his children plus his grandchildren. Hey, man. You know any good places to hunt around here? Duck hunting. We're looking for a good place to duck. Ah! You're pointing in the right direction, my friend. Thanks a lot. The weapons have changed somewhat. The game has changed somewhat, but the instinct is identical. I have met the most colorful and frolicsome people that I have met in my life have all been hunters and fishermen. Yet when I turn on the TV or read an outdoor story, too often this does not come through. I see Ward Cleaver and Gomer Pyle. You know, no. I want to see people like us who actually revel in the sport and love the action. My domicile is shattered. And I'm gone, but doggone it, our camp down at Empire is still standing.
The Bayou is my home, but sometimes when duty calls, I'm jerked clean out of my element.
Fried alligator po' boy, please. Yeah. Fried catfish po' boy. Fried boudin balls. What do you have? Squirrel sauce pecan, simmered for hours in a brown roux. Central Park has the makings of one heck of a gumbo.
But as soon as the cameras are rolling and I'm debating an animal rights wacko or some asinine Che Guevara worshiper, I couldn't feel more at home.
And the man behind the new book, The Hell Divers Rodeo, Umberto Fontova.
Bill Maher, my good friend, he would invite me, when he had his show Politically Incorrect, he would invite me on his show as his lynch mob victim. I was out there in the studio a few minutes ago, and there was chicken out there, and there was little fish bits. And you know something? Somebody killed those animals. The only difference between y'all and me is that I carry out my own hits.
But you do.
Y'all pay somebody to make out your hits. Is Tony Soprano, is Vito Corleone any less guilty for the death if somebody puts a hit on? I'm Mikey Corleone. I get McCluskey in a restaurant. Bow! I carry it out myself, baby.
You know what?
And
You're
all
a
paid
Texan.
for here.
You're a Texan,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm Louisiana.
Yeah, you are. You're acting just like one.
I dare say that those people got a very rude awakening. I asked the late James Coburn. James, you can talk what you want. I'll take you hunting 3 times in South Louisiana, buddy, and you'll be as fanatical about the sport as I am. He didn't take me up on it. Deep, deep down, too many hunters have a guilty conscience. Well, we pay for conservation with our license fees and all this kind of stuff, and that is absolutely true. But that's not why I do it. That is what I pay for, the privilege of indulging a primal instinct that creates great friendships.
There he is.
Now we got him. Now we're talking. Yeah. Our show is not going to remind you of a hunting and fishing show.
Yes, indeed. Nice.
It is going to remind you of hunting and fishing. You will be able to relate to it. You will say, my goodness, this is what actually happened to us. Don't you remember that? Look, we're not out to change the world. We're doing it because it is going to be an absolute kick in the ass.
Laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Join me, my family, and all the crazy characters of the Bayou for a knockdown, drag-out adventure as we ply the waters and the woods for delicacies and toss them one by one into the gumbo pot. You're not going to believe what you're going to see. Follow me.
This is the kind of thing that everybody will look at and go, yeah.